Hi everybody, it's Sophie here from Sophie's Positive Spin for this week's episode. This week's episode is very Christmas orientated. I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for Christmas. And I really hope you enjoy. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Sophie's.positive.spin. I think I'm just gonna get straight into things. So, I'm gonna start with my good news roundup of the week. My kind of positive stories that are quite personal. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get into it. So this week I actually remembered to start the podcast on time and correctly. What happened last week was I didn't add myself into the stream. And unfortunately, then the podcast didn't happen. Well, it did, but it happened 20 minutes after. So if you are wondering why last week's episode wouldn't work, you have to start it from, I think it's 20 minutes in. And yeah, no, it was great. I felt so bad because I was there yapping away for so long, and then I looked at my phone and there's a message to say that it hadn't started. So yeah. Next up, it is only 9 days until Christmas. It's crazy that next Friday is Christmas Day. I just feel like Christmas has flown in this year. Maybe it's because I'm working and I'm either doing college work or I'm working. I'm at home from work. All I kind of want to do is just go to bed or finish off college. So I just feel like Christmas has just flown by. It's really just come out of nowhere. We've started buying all of our nice foods for Christmas. Last week, myself, my mum, my sister went out to Liffey Valley and we bought, all the nice bits for Christmas. We always get our nice bits from Marks and Spencer. So mince pies. I'm trying to think what else. We got millionaire shortbreads, the little tubs. They do them in Aldi and Dunnes now. And it's little tubs of Rice Krispie kind of cakes, little Rocky Roads, little millionaire shortbreads, stuff like that. So we got a few of them. Just the nice bits for Christmas. I've kind of finished up my Christmas shopping. Had a bit of palaver with Christmas shopping today. But everything resolved itself. And yeah, no, I'm really excited for Christmas now. I've started kind of watching a lot of Christmas movies, any chance I can get. I've been trying to finish up a bit of college work over the last couple of days, and just to get me through it, I've decided to put on some Christmas movies. I've watched the newer Grinch. I've watched Nativity. I have watched a great thing on Disney Plus about how they decorate Christmas. They decorate the parks for Christmas. And I think they started decorating after Halloween. I can't remember. I was there last November, just the beginning of last November. And I don't think the parks were decorated by then. But it was so funny because Halloween had just finished. I think we went the 2nd or 3rd November. And all the decorations were gone from Halloween. It was crazy. I can't really remember because I can't remember the castle being all lit up and everything. And they were talking about It's a Small World, and that's my favourite ride. And all the lights that they use in it and how they decorate it for each country. Each country gets a makeover. But I just don't really remember that, so I don't think it was decorated. But I've been to Disneyland at Christmas. I went to Disneyland Paris when I was 7. And between Christmas and New Year's, we went for 4 days. And I still remember. It's it was we still talk about how cold it was, first of all. Which is such a contrast because I also went in the summertime. to Disney, and it's just such a contrast to the times that we went. Um, it was freezing cold, and we always talk about like how we haven't been that cold since, even though we went to Canada last year. Um, and then there was like a Christmas market kind of thing outside the parks. It kind of was in like Disney Springs. Is there Disney Springs in Paris? The Disney Springs of Paris. There was kind of like a market, and you would have like walked through it every day to get to the actual parks from the hotels. And the smell, there was one smell in particular that I remember when we walked past. Like, I was only 7 at the time. Like, this was 13 years ago this Christmas. And the smell was so weird. Like, I wouldn't say it was a bad smell, because more than likely it was like, I think it was roasted nuts, but none of us liked it. None of us. And like I feel like I think I've gotten the smell recently, or there was something that I got the smell again, and I was like, oh my god, that's the smell from Disney. Jeez, I went on a bit of a tangent there. But yeah, so there's just some great bits on Netflix. Oh my god, it's raining. Hope that doesn't affect anything. I haven't got my earphones in this week, but yeah, no, there's some great bits on Disney Plus and on Netflix for the Christmas time. Like, I know, like, there's some Christmas movies that I can't wait to watch. Like, I can't wait to watch Elf, but like that's kind of like a tradition in our house. We always watch that like a day or two before Christmas all together. And I just can't wait to like get all cooled down and like watch it. And you know, I listened to a podcast. If you remember, I recommended Bandwagons about two or three episodes ago, and they actually did an Elf episode. They didn't really talk about like the movie as a whole, because like they did like a short synopsis of the film, but everyone kind of knows Elf. But then more talked around like the background of the film and different things, like the actors who were in it, and talking about how like they didn't realize how successful most of them were until they actually went and like researched it and was like, oh my god, this person was in this. It was actually one of Will Ferrell. That's, he kept calling him Will Ferrell. Ferrell. Oh my god, I can't say his name now after listening to the podcast. They were kind of talking about how he it was one of his first like film gigs. Which is, I just love the film. Like, I associate so many things from that film with Christmas. And yeah, no, I can't wait to watch it. It's actually, I want to do like a little roundup of like the RT guide and kind of like what's good gonna be on over Christmas. And I think it's on Christmas Eve on Sky One, which I don't think it's ever been on Sky One. It's usually on like ITV2. ITV2 used to always get the rights to it, and we don't have ITV2 anymore in Ireland. Well, like, it depends on like if you're at Sky, I think they still have it. And it's usually then on like Sky Cinema. And like I've never had Sky Cinema. Like, we've never had it. So seeing as it's on Sky One this year, that's great. It's like what else? College is finished this Friday. Well, for me, I'm an youth. College is finished this Friday. We have, like, I have exams starting the 14th, I think, and I have a couple of assignments due before then. But like, officially, like, I'm finished for Christmas on Friday, and then yeah, no, I can't wait. Like, just to finally get, I think I'm taking Sunday as like a day of like Christmas, just to catch up on all like the films and anything that's been on the telly that I've missed already. Yeah, no, that's just a quick roundup of I say I've been talking for 10 minutes. So I just want to start on some positive news stories of the week. First of all, the government announced that they were going to give 3 million extra in funding for Dublin Zoo and Photo Wildlife Park in Cork. we all saw the like absolutely horrible news that broke a couple of weeks ago saying that Dublin Zoo may have to close because of its lack of funding, and like they really want to like keep it open, of course, but just because of the year that's in it, like so many businesses and companies and stuff have had to shut due to the pandemic, and Dublin Zoo nearly became one of them. And it was just like I was reading an article that says they pay 500,000 a month in the upkeep. So they've lost 8 million in revenue for this year alone. And like it's not just like I love the zoo. Like I feel like there's so many like mixed opinions with the zoo and stuff. In my opinion, I see the zoo as like a place for like there is a word for it, but like the minding of animals, making sure they don't go extinct. And like I know like animals shouldn't be like kept in captivity and all this, but in 100 years' time, there will still be certain animals that may have not made it if it wasn't for zoos. So this is just a really, really positive thing for me, I think. Last month when it was announced that the zoo was struggling financially, €2 million was raised in a public appeal, which like during a pandemic, like I just think that Ireland have been so generous this year with their money, with the Irish. Between this appeal for Dublin Zoo, then there was comic relief that was held in June, I think. There was an Irish comic relief, and that raised so much money to like the Late Late Show have raised money for the toy show appeal. They raised like 6 million. Then they raised money as well for mental health services. I think it was just before the summer. I think it was just before they finished up. And like the Irish have been so generous in a time where we can't, where like it has been hard for people throughout the last couple of months. Like there has been like still there has been such a generous like generosity in the Irish people. That's what I was trying to think of. Generosity in the Irish people to actually give back to some groups that have like helped, like that have been good to us for throughout the years. So it's nice just give back. I just felt like that was a really nice story. It just means that like 5 million, or sorry, it's 4 million now in the space of a month has been raised or given to the zoo. And like that's, what was I saying? It was 500,000. Like that's 4 months, is it? 4 months of my like feeding and like helping. Like that must be such a big that's such a big help for them. Moving on to a positive news story for me. May not be a positive news story for people from Mayo, but well, yeah. The All Ireland final is this weekend. I am so excited. Just in a year where like a lot of things have had to cancel, and I know there's been a lot of controversy over like sport being allowed to stay open and other things weren't. I got a lot out of the sport being on. I love watching the matches. And it's just kind of like, it's always like the summer months, you're like, yeah, grand. You're like, okay, start of the summer, you have the championship, the start of the championship with like the Leinster, like the Leinster final, Munster final, Ulster and Connacht. And then it goes into like the championship for the All Ireland. Then you have the hurling. The hurling was on. The hurling final was last Sunday, which saw Limerick beat Waterford. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the match. I would have really loved to, but I was doing college stuff. And this week is the All Ireland final. Mayo versus Dublin. Now I am so excited for this. I cannot wait. I love the matches. 6 in a row for Dublin, which, touch wood, I hope we win. Maybe a great boost. Now, I know that could be a great boost for like Mayo, but like, come on. We are a great team. I know we're not like the favourites in the country because we're Dublin. And like there's been a lot of talk recently about dividing up the county into north and south side teams. But like I actually believe that I am south side Dublin. I actually think that the north side would beat us 100%. I just still support the north side. So if anybody actually wants to tune in for the matches, I think throw-in is 5. I'm literally finished work at 5 o'clock. I will be running out of that place to get home to watch the match. And throw-in, is 5 o'clock on Saturday, the 19th. And it's going to be on RT2 or on the RT player. Now, we got the RT guide last week, and I had a little flick through during the day, and I picked up had a look at some great I had a look at some great things that are going to be on the telly over the Christmas. So if anybody wants to take a note of these, if you feel like it. So first of all, the first thing is on Saturday, which is the All Out final. This has been a great year for like people reconnecting with things and new things coming back. Like a lot of shows and like films have like done like interviews together, like reminiscing over their time when they were on the show, and which came from the comic relief, the Irish comic relief, a Den segment. And if anybody's like me, they grew up on the Den because like we had Nickelodeon and I didn't have Disney Channel for a long time, but the Den was just like the best, and I loved the Den, and I even missed out on like I think I was the last generation of the Den, but I missed out on like the Ian Dempsey Den and the Den that everyone kind of remembers, but and the Ray D'Arcy Den. So as you may know, Ray D'Arcy has brought back the Den this year for the last couple of weeks, and the Christmas special is going to be on Sunday the 20th of December, and with all the usual guests, Ray D'Arcy, Dustin the Turkey, Zig and Zag, and a few special guests, which I know I can't wait to watch. We've been like dipping in and out of it over the last couple of weeks, and it's been gas. Like it's been very funny. Like I just feel like I wonder what like children are saying like when they're watching it, and they're like, where their parents would have grown up watching it, and they're sitting there going, "She's serious, watch this." And I feel like it's more orientated towards like not like adults, but like there is a side for children, but I feel like the adults are getting more out of it. The Great British Bake Off Christmas special is going to be on December 23rd. Don't know about you, I'm really looking forward to that. This year I actually did like a kind of like a Great British Bake Off with my sister. Every week I used to post it up on Instagram, and I'd like put up a poll to see like, and loads of people were voting on it. Like I was getting like 200 votes every week, and like that might seem like a lot for people, but like loads of people that I barely even spoke to were voting on it. And like I remember one of the girls in college turned around to me and they were like, "So what are you making tomorrow?" Like I just couldn't believe that people were really enjoying this. And it was mostly during the second lockdown, so I feel like people need like a bit of a lift. What else? Oh, so Christmas Eve, there's a thing called Roald and Beatrix, The Tale of the Curious Mouse, and I think this looks brilliant. It's basically the story of how a young Rodell met Beatrix Potter. And I actually didn't, I knew the story of Peter Rabbit, but it was only this summer that I found out who wrote it, thanks to my friend. And anyway, it's the story of them two meeting. And I feel like it might be just like a short film, but it just looks really like magical. It just looks like a perfect little Christmas thing. On Christmas Eve on Sky One. What else is there on? On Christmas Day, there is Angela's Christmas Wish. Now, anybody else might have seen, what was it, Angela's Christmas a couple of years ago. I remember I made all my family watch it. So that was like a short film, and this is actually going to be a longer film. I think it's just under an hour long. And I'm really looking forward to that. I just loved Angela's Christmas Wish. And it's actually based off Angela's Ashes, which is a really sad Irish film, and my parents won't let me watch it because I'm too emotional. What else is there on Christmas? I feel like people, there's a thing called The Real Field, and it's about the story of the field. Me and my dad actually only watched The Field this Saturday. I really enjoyed it. It's by John B. Keane. It's just a story about like rural Ireland, and they're like all about the fields and like land ownership and families and having to emigrate. It's maybe not a very good Christmas movie, but like I really enjoyed it. It's actually on Christmas Eve, RT1. We also have Graham Norton show as usual on New Year's Eve. There's This Is Special, always a good one for Christmas, as well as the soaps. I usually don't watch the soaps, but like at Christmas. A family favorite of ours is a show called It's just so funny. Like I don't even know what it is about it. And there's a Christmas special on New Year's Day, which myself and family will be watching. There's loads of Christmas specials on. What else is on? So then they have the Christmas movies of the year. Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, The Commitments is on, which is very strange. The Commitments is never usually on Christmas Eve. I was saying that to my mum the other day. It's usually on Stephen's Day. So the Christmas movies this year, like the Christmas movie that's usually on Christmas night, it's boring, which I feel like it's a bit peculiar. Like usually it's like not like a happy movie, but I'm just confused why. Like it's such a like it's supposed to, I've never seen it as well because I'm very emotional, but I've heard it's a very sad film. That's going to be on RTE1 at 10:20, and Black Panther will be on RTE2 at 10 o'clock. Christmas Day, also The Great Showman will be on RTE at 6:10. Sorry, I can't read. I'm just like flicking through the RTE guides here. There's some great films on over Christmas, like Mommy, Here We Go Again. Figures, great film. Channel 4, Stephen's Day at 20 to 7. That's one that my mom is really looking forward to watching. What else is on over the Christmas? Sorry, I thought I read all this. Yeah, no, there's always the classics. There's always like the Polar Express. What else? Read like The Wizard of Oz, Nanny McPhee, The Holiday. The Holiday's on the 23rd. At 9:30 on RTE1. It's actually on Netflix as well. But if you want to watch it, and Christmas. One of my favourite Christmas movies years ago. It's not a Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie I would be any of the Rugrats films. The Rugrats movie or Rugrats World. Great films. I used to watch them every year. They're always, like Eve. They're all like 6 o'clock in the morning. But like, I think I used to record them and watch it. So Elf is on Christmas Eve on Sky One at 6:15. I hopefully will be finished work in time to come home and watch that. The Santa Claus movie, that's on over Christmas. Just great stuff. Home Alone, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. The Commitments is on Christmas Day as well. There's just great stuff on over Christmas. I'd advise buying the Early Guide. I think it's only €4. Yeah, it's $4.40. You get all your Christmas classics in it. You sit down, you can say, okay, you know what? It's like Christmas Eve. What's going on Christmas Eve? I love it. I go through it every year, mark what I want to watch. Now, I'd say it'd be harder for me to watch stuff, so we mark what I want to record this year. But yeah, I feel like that last segment was a bit long, about 10 minutes. So I'm going to end the podcast with some of my kind of favorite things of the week. Some things that I would do if I was feeling a bit down, if I want to watch, or things that made me feel better. And then also a small business that I have followed or purchased from as well. So podcast, I'm going with The Unpopular Opinion, which is a podcast that kind of just talks about topical things or things that a lot of people have opinions on. So this week's was Christmas parties. Last week's was stinginess. One on the Debs, which was very, very good. Me and my mum were in Wexford and we had to drive up to Dublin for a couple of an hour or two. And the drive up and back, we listened to the 2 parts of it. Brilliant, loved it. And then also people have sent in their stories. So the stories that they couldn't include, they post on their Instagram, and they've been hilarious. Me and my sister, she also listens to it. She recommends it to me, and we're oh my god, did you see that story about this and blah blah blah. I can't believe I can't go on the Christmas party this year. I was looking forward to it, but unfortunately, due to COVID, can't happen. My TV show, everyone will have heard of it. Grey's Anatomy, one of my all-time favourite shows. Myself and my mum have been watching it for about 5 years now, from beginning to end. My mum had watched it from when it first aired, 15, 16 years ago. And we're nearly caught up. I think we're 4 or 5 episodes behind what's on the telly now. It's taken us a long time. We started watching from, I think we watched a couple of seasons a couple of years ago. And then when lockdown came, we kind of started where we finished. And now we're finally kind of getting to the end, and it's sad, but I can't wait to go back and start watching it all again. I just love it. It's one of those shows that you could have something so many things going on in your head, but because there's so much happening, you're drawn in. I remember during the night I was sitting there watching it, and I literally had my hands on my face, mouth wide open. I think I was sitting there like that for about 5 minutes. And then I kind of realised, I was what am I doing? But honestly, there's always something happening, and I recommend if you haven't watched it. It's on Amazon Prime, and I think students get a discount, or they get 6 free months on Amazon. But so I'd recommend. Film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Christmas classic. I'm actually watching it today as I'm finishing up some college work. It's a classic. I love it so much. I watched as I said earlier on, I watched the newer Grinch the other day, and they're just so good. they are just out of this world. And it's just such a nice thing to like have in the background while I'm doing some college work, just finishing up an essay to be submitted tonight. Yeah. And finally, a small business that I'd like to recommend. Unfortunately, I'd say it's too late now to purchase from them. It's a company called Connect the Dots. It's an Irish business. She's actually from the north as well, I think. Some of her products include cards. She's actually doing like diaries, dealing like if they're Oscuelga. She actually made wrapping paper. A lot of her products are in Irish. She does a lot of like products, and she does like a lot of like bilingual products. So like a lot of her cards will come in Irish and English. One of my favourite products, and unfortunately I didn't get to order this year, was she made cards, and it was "Don't forget to turn the lights off." And that's a quote from my favourite Christmas ad, which is the Guinness ad. And I literally, well, like I was gonna say, I literally can quote it. I think there's about 10 words in the whole ad, but it's my favourite Christmas ad. It just feels all Christmassy and nice. So yeah, she did a card in Irish and in English. So I really wanted to order that, but unfortunately I didn't get to. I think that's everything. Big recommendation for the week is buy an RTE guide. 440, starts on Saturday, all the way up until the 1st of January. Yeah, it goes from this Saturday to the 1st of January, which is New Year's Day. And it will give you all your Christmas movies and no, never mind. I was thinking of a different film. Sorry, I thought film there that I would recommend. Yeah, no, has everything coming up to Christmas that's on the telly. Has things that are on Sky One, UTV, what's it called? Sky Movies, RTE, TV3, what's that called? Virgin Media. VM. Okay. Yeah, no, but I really recommend buying the RTE guide. So thank you all for listening to this bumper Christmas episode. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas, even if it's not. Hope that it's a nice break, even if you like family and friends, it's a nice break. So I will see you all after Christmas, and I will let you know when I'm back. Please follow my Instagram for updates of when I'm back after Christmas. Hopefully it'll just be like the week after, but I need a well-needed break from college. Thank you all much. See you soon. Bye.